The Devils take Game 7, a 4-0 shutout of their Hudson River rivals, the New York Rangers. Welcome into your Genucel post-game live show with Scott Gomez. I'm Catherine Bogart. What a way to punch your ticket to the second round. First time for this franchise since 2012. A huge win for the Devils. What did they do throughout the entire game to secure this win?
Well, you never know what's going to happen in Game 7. Let's go to that. People can call it out. People can make predictions. You don't know. Little bounce here or there. But one thing about the Devils, they did not show jitters. They didn't show, the experience. That's all we've heard about and talked about. These guys stuck to their game plan. And, I got a lot of Ranger friends, a lot of Ranger fans that are going to disagree with me at the Knickerbocker golf course. But let's face it, the Devils were the better team the whole series. And we go from that. All right, they lost the first two games. After that, the formula they had, each line was going, getting the pucks deep. I mean, Catherine, we talked about the whole time. The only time the Rangers really got momentum and had, their big guys going was when they got on the power play. And the Devils need to stay out of the box. But to win a Game 7 like that at home, I was in the alumni suite with some of the older guys, and kind of reminds you of the older days where, not only did you win, you put a stamp on it, like, hey, we showed who was the better team in this series. And to come back down 2, could have won it in 6, lose, but to come back like this, you gotta love it. And it's kind of a bummer they don't get a chance to maybe celebrate this, because those are the best parties after you do win a series. But the momentum also, they're going into Carolina. Certain guys needed to get on the board. Whether it's a cookie or not, they got on the board. That erases that. They don't have to see goose eggs anymore. It's a big momentum for the Devils, and hey, they're looking good. They're looking good. There's no better way to book your ticket. You may be the last team into the second round, but doing it in a shutout against your rival after dropping the first 2 games of the series, the Devils have all the confidence heading into the second round against the Carolina Hurricanes. Let's take a look at those highlights to see how New Jersey was able to be so strong. The 2 greatest words, Game 7. And the Devils showed up from the opening minutes. Great opportunities to start things off, including on the penalty kill. Like we said, they just kept with it. There was the rhythm was all there all night long. Kept attacking the net, flow by flow, guys coming in. They just kept the pressure on the Rangers. You knew it was going to be one of these games. Watch this, because he's going to do it a couple times tonight. Akira Schmid with a huge glove save to keep Mika Zibanejad from scoring here late in the first. Hughes with the breakaway attempt. Things were kind of stalled a little bit for the game, but for Hughes to get that breakaway and just miss by a millimeter right there, you know that things were coming. And another really close chance by the Devils to start off the second period. Then a 2-on-1 Schmid. Again, another glove save. And Catherine, we were talking about this. Maybe it was the Rangers' game plan. I mean, you go to scouting reports, the goalie coach goes over everything. Maybe let's beat this guy top glove, and they were shooting for it, but hey, the kid was on today, and the patience was unreal. Patience by Mikey McLeod to score and give the Devils a 1-0 lead while they're shorthanded. And I hate to say the patient word, because that is your word, but in saying that, right here, the Devils had a power play, they got off it. We all know the Rangers were getting momentum with their power play, but to get a shorthanded goal, just those 2 guys stuck with the puck, stuck with it, got a goal. Huge for the Devils. Tatar makes it 2-0. Watch this. Marino brings it in, dishes it back to Tatar. They're able to score. And like you said, Rangers got out of position. They weren't at probably their best defense, but Marino, way to throw it back there. Tatar, guys like that, been working hard. But to get that goose, to get on the scoreboard, you needed that. Perfect goal. We told you Schmid would do it again. Another glove save, keeping the Rangers from scoring at all in this one. And it's kind of funny because I just got a couple texts, and especially Randy McKay said he hadn't seen a goalie that patient, that guy, since the days of Marty. So that's a lot saying. That's really high praise. Eric Halla, 3-0, his 3rd goal of the postseason. He really has been a gamer in this playoff series. But right here, Jack Hughes, I know it makes it 3-0. He got an assist late in the game, get on the scoreboard, but to make that pass to go into the next series, he's got the goose egg off the assist. Now he's got 2 in the last 2 games. Those are big, especially right here. This goal, we were saying it, this kid needed to get on the board. Doesn't matter if it's the 5th or 6th goal, whatever. To him to get on the board going to the next series, you got that goose egg off, and it's so important. And here we go. Look at Akira, so happy, cool, calm, and collected. That's all we hear about the rookie goaltender. He has helped the Devils so much turn this series around, and New Jersey finally into the second round of the postseason. Pre-game 4, Jack Hughes discussed that if they were told they would be in Game 7 going into this thing after last year where they only had 63 points,
So now they have the greatest turnaround in NHL history from one season to the next. They beat the Rangers in the first round of the playoffs, and they go into the second round with all the confidence in the world. 2 shutouts in this first round.
2 shutouts, coming back in a series, losing the first 2 games at home, and just the way they just kept coming. Obviously we're going to have to stay out of the box. They're going to have to stay out of the box. Though it's a whole new series. Everything starts over. But like I said, certain guys got on the score sheet, got those goose eggs off. That is so important. You'd like to have a couple days to kind of have fun. No major injuries as we know of. But to go right into a series against Carolina, feeling this good, especially against the rivals like the Rangers, hey, why not? You're feeling good, no time to celebrate. It's like being a baseball player. You're more excited to get back to the ballpark the next day. Well, they're going to be right up at the rink. So
the Devils will travel to Carolina to face the Hurricanes that first game Wednesday night, and then Friday, game 2, before the Devils will return home for the second round. New Jersey did match up well against the Hurricanes throughout the regular season, 2-1-1, and they had those 2 wins in the final 2 games. So this is a team they know well. They know all the weaknesses that the Hurricanes have, as vice versa. However, the Devils are way healthier than Carolina, who has been suffering injuries, especially in their series against the Islanders. Let's break down one of the most critical moments of this game. The game-winning goal just happened to be the first goal of this one. And although Mikey McLeod, with his patience, drags that around and gets the goal, it all starts with Andre Palat's veteran experience and attacking Adam Fox in the puck.
Like I said, the whole key to that was they got off the power play. And we all know what the Rangers, they know they're going to get on the board. They're shorthanded. But watch the patience right here. You're going against one of the best players in the world. Sticks with it. All right, makes Fox have to move it up. Palat, instead of going back, he goes right back at the puck. And then, just what can you say? The effort, Game 7 effort. And that's a goal that, hey, you got jitters, you got whatever you want to say. You can shoot that right away. But like our girl, Catherine says, the patience to drag that and go, that you could feel it you could feel the energy in the building. You could feel it. Whoever got the first goal in a Game 7 is so important. But to get it at home and to get it shorthanded, they were there. They were off and running. They were at the start, but that just that took them to another level. Something
that's important to note about the Devils' effort tonight, it was evident they were having fun out there. And throughout the entire regular season, during the Devils' 13-game win streak, they were always cool but having fun. And when they're able to do that, it takes the pressure off. Some of these players, as you said, hadn't found the score sheet yet. They were supposed to be big producers because they were in the regular season. But New Jersey's secondary and third scoring stepped up to take off the pressure. When you look at your own playing days, how critical was it when this team, the teams that you played for, were calm throughout even the tough moments?
Well, it was a little different because we did have more vets. We did have veteran. But what I meant was by like a guy like me, let's say, for me to get a goal, believe it or not, I did actually get goals in the playoffs. But for me to get a goal right away, I got the goose egg out. I knew I'm going to get my assist. This is the way it is. Love assists. That's where they're coming. But it's a different season. It doesn't matter if you have 90 points, 80 points. It starts over. A lot of these guys were new to this. Where I'm saying, some of these guys, no matter what goal it was, they read the sheets every day. You walk in the room, you read it. To get the goose egg off, to go in the next round. Hey, the third and fourth line, all those guys, they were the keys. They said the low, but it was really important for Brad, Tatar, even Hughes. Hughes had a couple, he had a goose egg for the assist. 2 assists in the last 2 games. That carries the momentum over, and you need that. You look at it, you can see the relief right there. Doesn't matter what goal. Everyone knows that on the team that these are the guys you're going to need to score. And maybe it took 7. They picked the right game. But in saying that as offensive players, once you get that goose egg on, you're a different player, and hey, it's the right time because they're going to play Carolina right away.
There's a lot of credit that goes to the management. Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald was so key on bringing veterans in during the offseason and then at the trade deadline to bring in Timo Meier. He knew that if he could build a veteran presence around this young core, it would help in moments like this when they're in the playoffs and some of these guys are playing their first playoff games, but now they have the veterans who teach them how to be calm. Let's actually head and hear from one of those veterans. Eric Halla is speaking with the media.
And just great effort by the whole team again. It's great.
Can you talk about the shorty and just the spark you got from that determination from those 2 players right there?
Yeah, Pally, just that whole shift, if you watch it back, I don't know how many battles he wins, and just the determination on that play, and then you know, you probably wouldn't believe it, but Mikey McLeod's got quite the mitts on him, and what poise and a great goal, and it's just a huge uplift for our group.
Is that not what like a Game 7 is all about? Everyone contributing. You know, you talk about Mikey, you know, finishing off that play there.
Yeah, I've said it. I said it earlier. You know, it's any given night. It's going to be somebody who's going to make great plays on great teams, and even the second goal, like Johnny's effort on that one, and I don't know, just great play by our whole lineup.
How about the brilliance of your young goalie and just the poise?
Yeah, I don't know which save it was, but there's quite a few early on in the game where he. You know, there's a couple one-timers. I think Zibanejad had one early, and I didn't know where it went, but surely it was in his glove, and you know, it's just a timely saves that I feel like those are the things that really, you know, calm our group down. And it's just, you know, not that we didn't have the most of our confidence in him, but it's just I'm very impressed by his play, and good for him. I'm really happy for him.
Is it extra sweet?
Let's go to Karen. Excuse me.
To love Jersey is to understand Jersey. It's about understanding that you don't love Jersey for what it is. You love it for who it is. We're defined by our people. Defined by our attitude. We're defined by our fight, and you know that we're ready for this fight. Prepared to do whatever it takes. Because we don't play the game, we own it, every inch of the ice. So to raise that banner, we'll raise our game. To raise the roof off the rock, we'll raise our voices. And to raise that cup, we'll raise hell.
Another chance, Jesper Bratt puts it in! Bounces up Goligoski on the wrap, it goes in, and it is Timo Meier!
Welcome back. 4-0. The Devils advance to the second round with a massive win over their Hudson River rivals, the New York Rangers. Let's bring in Matt Loughlin from the Devils Hockey Network. And for all of you listening on the Devils Hockey Network, presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, welcome in. We're happy to have you. Really, truly a complete game. But it all starts and stops with your goaltender. Akira Schmid, the rookie goaltender, 31 saves tonight. Outstanding. What was so impactful about him being calm in those big moments?
Well, I think that's his nature, right? And I think that's a real reason why Lindy went back to him, among others, his ability, also primary there. But he doesn't seem to be unnerved by much of anything. He's got a cool calm, collected demeanor. And I know Randy McKay, you were saying it earlier, said it reminds him of a certain Hall of Famer.
If you can't get a compliment like that, it's during the game. That's a guy that's played longer with Marty than I did, but he did say, he goes, I've not seen that patience and guy confidence. And like Randy said, that builds a team. Hey, we don't have to worry about that guy. That guy's going.
Yeah, and Chico has said the same thing, that, Marty had this way about him. You could talk to him the day of the game. He was approachable. He didn't seem to get too rattled, give up a goal. He found a way to blame somebody else. No, I'm only kidding.
Always blame. You always got to blame someone else. It's like we're blaming Chico. We're blaming Chico right now for not being here. But that's
Chico's under the weather, but he'll be with us in Raleigh for the start of the series. So he's got a lot of those characteristics. And, the Rangers beat him high glove on Saturday. They tested him high glove tonight. He answered them all. And then he made the great low glove save on Trocheck near the end of the game to keep it 2-0 and eventually the 4-0 win. So it's just his. He was in the USHL. I know we keep saying this, but we have to emphasize it.
You can't enough.
He was in the USHL. Yep. That's not the CHL, which is the Canadian Hockey League, and the umbrella organization there. He was in the CHL. I mean, the USHL, and here he is 2 years later winning Game 7 against the Rangers. It's incredible.
But we were saying that earlier, like the last goals the Ranger had, they were beating them top glove. Mm-hmm. And that just, hey, the goalie coach comes and grabs you, guys go in, he's grabbing the guys that can score, so I probably wasn't in that meeting. But that's the key. Hey, we beat that guy pretty solid, going top shelf, going glove, and you could tell they were going for that, like Matty said. And give that kid credit. I mean, whether he knew it or not, but to make those saves, and then that low glove save when Trocheck, I mean, that thing had eyes on it, through screens, to just be calm. And he gave a couple lays, just because I'm Mexican, I like saying that. But, he gave that, and right there.
Too.
Well, Colombian too, yeah. Sorry, Mom. Matty loves, yeah. But yeah, it was literally, and you see that, and that's like I said, when my old teammates are texting me, that just brings back the Devils' memories of, hey, we got something special in net. The rest of the guys, they carried through and did their job.
And they cleaned up a couple of the issues that afflicted them on Saturday, right? The 2 goals, 2 and 3, that were scored by the Rangers on Saturday, guys, slot scorers, Zibanejad and Tarasenko, and they score. That didn't happen. Devils block shots, and though they didn't stay out of the penalty box in the first, but they did the rest of the way, and that was a big difference too.
Let's go hear from Michael McLeod in the locker room. He had the game winner tonight. We're having some technical difficulties, it seems, but all of the media avails will be on NewJerseyDevils.com.
You caught me mid-adjust.
Hey, it's live. It's live TV. This is the fun we have. Let's actually take a look at some of those big saves by Akira Schmid, because really, he was an outstanding performance tonight, and he has been ever since he got his first start in Game 3 on the road at MSG. And really, when you look at the highlight reel, it just shows it all. That glove save. Carbon copy that 3 times throughout this one.
Power play blast. Zibanejad didn't get all of it. He got enough of it, though, and he comes up with the save.
But you also love the fact that, like Matty said, the adjustments. Last game, there was Rangers, blocking this guy in the zone. The Devils D did a great job pushing him to the side. He sees it. I mean, hey, Kreider's goal, let's face it, it was going wide. It goes right in as a perfect, but the adjustment they made on the penalty kill, he was seeing everything tonight.
He was there. Patrick Kane tried to tuck it home. He's got the nifty hands, but couldn't beat him 5-hole. And Akira's pretty good at protecting that 5-hole.
It's like we were talking to Marty. I was talking to Marty earlier. What's making this kid so special? And he did say he's a big guy. Mm-hmm. He's a big guy. And when you're not scoring 5-on-5, and you're getting strong. I mean, on the power play, give them credit. They did what they had to do. But not scoring 5-on-5, Marty even made it better. How big does the guy get? He gets even bigger. Mm-hmm. You can't seem to put it by this guy. And, it's even coming from Ranger fans. It's coming from the people I know. Let's face it, the Devils were the better team. They were the better team the last whatever games. And that's a scary thing for how young this team is. And to go into the second round, the experience they just gained. Everyone was talking about experience. To be down 0-2, go in the Garden, win 2. You had an elimination game in Game 6, didn't come through. But to come and put a stamp on this in Game 7, and Matty knows this as well because he was at the parties all the time too, that you don't get this break. It's almost better. There's no really serious injuries. We don't know. They're going right back at it, and they got the momentum. And I'd hate to be playing the Devils right now.
Let's go hear from Tomas Tatar, who scored and broke his egg, as you said earlier.
First 2 games show us what we can do through the series, and we took a lesson and played very well since then. And I'm very proud of everyone in this room. Everybody did a tremendous job and chipped a certain way in, to win the series.
Can you take us through that goal and just Johnny Marino doing what he did there to get that puck back to you on his backhand?
Yeah, it was it was an amazing move. I actually thought for a second he scored, and after I saw he continue, down the play, I just tried to get ready, and he shoveled that puck right to me. So it was awesome, great play by him, and I think great performance by everyone tonight.
Just how significant is it that you guys, didn't hold up at all? You just kept going, you kept your foot on the gas, and just what that means about this group and what you want to keep doing going forward.
We felt confident, after, the game 3, we saw what we have to do, to be successful. And even in game 6, we had great moments. We just got slowed down by a PK. They did a tremendous job today. It wasn't easy at the start, but, once we killed it, we were keep pushing and playing well. And, now we're going to enjoy it tonight, and tomorrow we're going to focus on the next series.
Thomas, your brilliance of your 22-year-old goalie in Game 7.
Outstanding, stone cold, Schmido. He just seems so patient, in his crease, playing so well. He was a, big part of this series, and, coming in as a young goalie, it's not easy, but he stand tall and, gave us a chance every night.
The 3 PKs in the first, how big were they?
Yeah, it didn't look good, to be honest. I was a little nervous, but guys handled it. It was amazing, just not to give them the lead. Through this penalty kills and then hold on. It was amazing. It gave us the confidence, to win the game.
Thomas, what did you learn about this team in this series? What did you learn about your team here in this series?
I think we got a big lesson in the first 2 games. It's a playoff, and the hockey's a little different. You have to be a lot more patient. I think Rangers surprised us a little bit. We were trading chance for chance with them in a season, and they buckled down, and they play good defensively, and it surprised us. But we took that lesson very fast, and with that young of a group, it's impressive how we figure it out and start playing different hockey and turn the series around.
Is it extra sweet to knock off your course-time rivals?
Was that, sir?
Is it extra?
Okay, 2 takeaways from that avail. First, Stone Cold Schmido. What a nickname for Schmidt to have in this one. And second, Gomer Tatar says the exact same thing. They gained so much experience in this series. They brought in a lot of experience in the offseason with forward Andre Palat. Let's break down everything he did to help Mikey McLeod be in the perfect situation to score and get the Devils on the board early in this one. I mean, it all starts with a veteran player who knows exactly what to do when they're shorthanded.
Well, he's just so aggressive.
No.
I want
Okay, so as we're saying, we were talking off camera. Not only that, Fox is one of the best D-men in the, patience with the puck. He catches him flat-footed. He breaks it down. Kreider puts Kreider in position. Easily could have gone off right there. Did his job for the first second. Stayed with it. Got him to turn it over again and to have the patience of mind to keep going right here. Go ahead, Matty.
Yeah, well, so here it is, right? So Fox has the puck. Here comes Palat. Fox doesn't know where to go. So he has it knocked away, but the puck's recovered by Kreider. He goes down, puck's taken away. Then he splits those 2 guys, and then Zibanejad sliding. So 3 of the stars are burnt on one play, and what patience by Michael McLeod.
Absolutely fantastic. And Devils head coach Lindy Ruff said pregame in the locker room, be the hero. Yeah. Take this opportunity and be the hero. It's Game 7. This is what you've been fighting for.
But not only that, it's the first goal. And like I said, the Rangers' power play has been the Achilles heel. To get a goal like that, but the 3 efforts to break down 3 of their best players, to get that first goal, get the place rocking. Obviously, McLeod, I didn't have that patience. Matty knows that. He saw plenty of times. He saw plenty of times he had to call that. Gomez hits the pad again. But for that effort, for that the way to kill it, and we're talking 3 world-class players he beat on his own, and they got that pass through. I was a passer. Hey, it rocked the place right there.
I mean, that's why he was acquired. Mm-hmm. One of the many reasons why he was acquired. He struggled this season. Groin surgery, misses a ton of time, doesn't score from March 7th against Toronto through the end of the regular season. But then suddenly in the playoffs, he comes alive. It's money time for Andre Palat. 2 assists tonight. He now has 18 points in, I think it's 16 or 17 games against the Rangers. So 8 goals, 10 assists. And that got the party started. So and it was shorthanded, right? So the Rangers are going on the power play. Jesper Bratt takes a terrible penalty.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Call it what it is.
And now they have to kill it because they had the power play. It's 4-4 for a while, and when Miller steps out, they score shorthanded.
But Matty, do you agree with me that, and you know better because you used to hear me whine all the time when I was, you just got to get on the board. Once you see these guys, I know I got my notepad, everyone's making fun of me, but you do see every day before games, you do see what you're doing. And it's tough to see a goose egg there. We are in Game 7, and that's what makes these things so special. Yeah, you can be the hero. You can. 1 point, I was telling Catherine earlier, Tatar's goal, that might as well be 10 goals. Bratt's goal, empty net, doesn't matter. We need certain guys to get on the board and get rid of those goose eggs and to go into the second round. There's certain guys that need to get their numbers in there, and it's just, it may sound selfish, it is, but it's part of the game, and, good for these guys.
An outstanding effort. Let's go back to the locker room and hear from Mikey McLeod on his performance tonight.
Mikey, just an overall effort from absolutely everyone on this. What is sort of the emotion post-game and what's kind of going through your head right now?
Yeah, I think we're obviously really happy and just excited to move on and play Carolina. And I think everyone showed up to play tonight right from the start, and it showed, and the details were there, and it was just an awesome game.
What did you make of Pally's play just to get you that puck? That seemed like an incredible individual effort. I mean, Pally's awesome. He's obviously a warrior, and he battles on every puck, and he shows up at big times like that, and it was just an awesome play. So, was your plan just get to the net in hopes that?
Yeah, I don't know. It was a 4-on-4. I don't even know what I was doing.
Mike, what did this series teach you about your team in the Game 7 7-game series against the Rangers?
I mean, this is a huge series, obviously our rival team, and it just shows how how good a team we actually are, and how prepared we were to come in here, and we got better every game, I think, and especially at the first 2, I think we really cleaned up our penalty kill and stuff, so it's exciting going forward.
Mikey, how tough was this series? I mean, it goes to 7 games, a rival, they're a tough team. I mean, how difficult was it?
Yeah, it was extremely tough. I think obviously go through their lineup. They got some superstar talent up front and on the back end too. So, it was a tough series for sure. And obviously going to Game 7, like I said, we had to clean up our penalty kill, and we did that. So
Game 6 was obviously tough for Akira, but for him to come in post that performance, I mean, what more can you possibly say about him?
Yeah, no, it's incredible. He's been awesome for us in this series and all year. Honestly, he's so calm back there, and we have a ton of confidence when he's in net, and he can play.
From the drop of the puck, the Devils were peppering Shesterkin. They were finding a lot of offense early, which is very key. They were getting 2-on-1s, 5-on-5, as Gomer has said. New Jersey was dominant. Let's take a look at some of those opportunities throughout this game, because if it was any other goaltender besides Shesterkin, this might have been a 7-0 game. He really has been the best player for the Rangers this entire series, and because of that, he kept the Devils from scoring multiple times, starting with Captain Nico Hischier shorthanded, and not long after Jack Hughes.
Well, in saying that, last game, Game 6, that score could have been 3 goals in the first. Mm-hmm. It is, we probably wouldn't be here. I mean, obviously the fans wanted to see us more, but that game, this guy kept a minute. When I was talking to the Ranger guys, Steve Valiquette, I mean, that kid was on last game.
Yeah.
This scores could have been totally different, and me and Matty were talking off camera. I mean, he did his job. There's no question.
Yeah, as you said, Catherine, he was the best player in this series and best player tonight for sure. Sharon Govich can attest, and a bunch of the other saves that we saw there. He was really, really good. You know what I don't know? What was he doing coming out when Jacob Trouba leveled Timo Meier? Like, he came out. Now, maybe he's a humanitarian, and he just wanted to make sure he was okay.
Right.
But I don't know.
But they had beef throughout the entire
series. Well, that's it.
Series.
That's what I'm thinking,
I mean,
right?
I don't know if frustration comes out. What, he's going to get another whack at the guy?
I know. It was just kind of odd, right?
That was, and
he stood about 6-8 feet away and just kind of stared at him.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that it's like, is that the right time to talk smack? I mean, you're still down. Or was it trying to pump his team up? Maybe but that was a weird kind of. But then again, goalies. Who knows what a goalie's thinking?
And maybe honestly, he was just concerns
Yeah,
for a
I mean,
fallen
hey, yeah.
player. I mean, I'll look at it that way and give
Benefit
it,
of the doubt.
yeah, give him the benefit of the doubt. But it was kind of odd. And
I won't give a benefit of the doubt because there's no way. Game 7, I mean, you know.
came out
I
and
think,
was
yeah,
kinda
I mean,
like,
you know,
yeah, how
if
does
Matty
that
got
feel?
knocked out, I'm like, yeah, there you go, especially if you've touched me during the series. But that's
could've
hey, I'm
been.
old school. I'm old school hockey, but, you know, hopefully, I doubt he was coming out there to see if he's okay. And if he is, he's probably one of the greatest, nicest human beings ever. Like Matty.
Well, I will say, well, you're being kind, but I will say this, that Timo Meier was in the handshake line.
Okay,
So that
good,
was
yep,
good.
yep.
So, you know, hopefully there's no residual effect. I mean, he had to be checked out. He had to cut across the bridge of his nose, but hopefully he's okay for Wednesday.
And he's a bigger player, so he could take a hit like that. We'll run the hit in a second here, but Trouba, this was just moments after Nico Hischier was swept into Shesterkin by Miller. The Rangers are penalized for the sweep because Hischier couldn't control it. He was pushed. And then Trouba hits Meier, and this really was one of those moments that you're glad this guy has a lot of meat on his bones because that's a hit.
It is. I mean, Timo Meier's a big fella. So is Jacob Trouba. He got caught with his head down.
It's Trouba, let's give him credit, meaning he knows how to line someone up. Who's a guy we watched all our career? Scotty Stevens. Number 4. And the thing that happened with Meier is his head was down, and you can't do anything about it when you're, even if you want to react. Once you lean over like this, we saw that highlight when I got knocked out by Grant Marshall, Game 1 playoffs, in my playoffs for a while. But you know, Matty, just as well. Once you get down like this, you can't do anything.
Yeah.
And hey, he got up, and that's the most important thing. He got up. But you know, I know I was in the box, and certain old school guys were, it's a clean hit, it's not. I mean, who's the judge? But the head's down, and when you have a guy like Trouba that can line guys up, it's playoffs, but I love the fact that he got up and, like you said, he's in the handshake, and that shows a lot because a lot of guys might just be like, you know, I'm not going out there, but to be out there with your teammates and to shake hands and to make sure you're feeling it, hopefully he's all right.
Yeah. The Devils pick up a huge win over the Rangers. I mean, there's so many levels to this of how much confidence New Jersey can gain from this. You beat them after dropping the first 2 games of the series. Everyone has counted you out. Rangers newspapers are saying it's going to be a sweep. The Devils battle back, 2 wins at Madison Square Garden. And now they're through to the second round for the first time since 2012. So this is a big moment for the franchise. And Devils GM Tom Fitzgerald said he built this team. This is the start of their postseason window. So they did great in this first round. What do they need to do to make sure that they keep this rolling in the second?
Play Carolina the way they played the Rangers, right? Carolina can match them for speed. I don't think they can match the scoring as we see the handshake line, which is one of the great traditions in hockey. And I don't know if we'll see Timo show up in this line, but he was there. You know, the hockey rivers are deep. They're not very wide. Everybody knows everybody from international competitions or having played with someone coached by the same guy, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's nice to see certainly a more enjoyable handshake line for the Devils than for the Rangers. I think what they have to do is not take Carolina too lightly, not assume that, okay, everyone thinks the East is open now, right? Boston's out. The teams that are left, the 4 teams, are all thinking, we can go to the Stanley Cup final. You got to earn it on the ice. Carolina is stout defensively. They won't give much quarter, and their speed is pretty good. I still think the Devils are a faster team. Getting right back into it could be good. Fatigue might set in at some point, but Carolina's rested. I think it's going to be heck. They split the season series 2-2. Devils are on their tail throughout. Carolina winds up winning the division by a couple of points. I think it's going to be brilliant.
The matchup should be great, and one thing they can't get, you don't want to get lost in, you know, Carolina's missing some key guys, but we were there in 2001 where, you know, people forget that we lost to Colorado. Peter Forsberg wasn't playing in the lineup, and not that we took it for granted, not at all, but it was still like, it still was, you know, they're missing a key guy. People forget that we did miss Randy McKay in that series, but you can't look ahead like that, and Matty made a great point. The year we won in 2003, we looked over at the West. It was a different era. We were a more experienced team, but Detroit was out. Dallas was out. Colorado was out. It was basically between us and Ottawa to get to the finals. But we've been there before. We've had that experience. We wanted to get the taste out of our mouths from the Colorado thing. But for the Devils, like you said, don't even start thinking that. Go to game 1, here we go. It's a tough building to play in, Carolina. I don't think people understand. That's, you know, as much as it's a football place and everything, they're loving their hockey. but the challenge is there, and to get by their rivals, to get by everything they did. They have the formula now, and stay out of the box. And it's easier to say, I mean, because hey, it's hard for the refs right now. It's hard. It's different. It's different for everyone. It's a new season, but I like the fact that they got the win, and I know I keep harping on it, but certain guys got that goose egg out. It goes a long way. Trust me on that.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break. On the flip side, we're going to hear from more players, and later on, Devils head coach Lindy Ruff.
To love Jersey is to understand Jersey. It's about understanding that you don't love Jersey for what it is. You love it for who it is. We're defined by our people. Defined by our attitude. We're defined by our fight, and you know that we're ready for this fight.
How important the PK was tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we showed up to play. Proud the way we played tonight, and we know it was a big game, and we did the little things right and played as a team. So it was definitely a good win for us.
What kind of lift was that to see the effort by the young man next to you and also McLeod's goal?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. Get us going. What an effort by Pally there, and finish from Mikey. There's a lot of momentum for us, and I mean, like I said, got us going, and after that, we stick with our game plan, and it was just a really good 60-minute game.
Nico, what does this moment mean to you as the captain, as someone who's been here for a little while now and went through that playoff series a couple of years ago as well?
Yeah, I mean, obviously really happy right now. It's those games you want to play in, and to beat them in a game 7 at home, I think those are memories that are gonna stick forever. But we also said in there, like, it's first round. Now we want more, and we believe in each other, and now we enjoy tonight, and tomorrow get back to work and go to Carolina, and back to business there.
Pally, what are your initial thoughts of just this game, seeing this young group accomplish another step that we've talked about?
Yeah, I mean, just to see the team to grow from the losses we had, game 1 and 2, it's pretty impressive how quick we adapt, we change our game a little bit. So I'm very impressed about our team, how we respond. We never gave up.
Andre, you had such a reputation in Tampa for scoring big postseason goals during their cup runs. What does it mean to you to be able to do that here?
I mean, I'm obviously pretty happy how the game went today. But like I said, it's not about me. It's about the whole team. How we play last 4 games. Even game 6, I don't think we play that bad. But like I said, first question, I'm impressed how we grew as a team in this series.
This is for both of you guys. Lindy, his message before this game and probably all series, or before this game, particularly game 7, was to embrace this and have fun. And we spoke to you guys a little bit, after the morning skate about that. It seems like you guys took that to heart. You looked like a looser team out there. Did you feel that at all? And did you feel the Rangers pressing once you went up on them?
Yeah, I mean, that's what Lindy said. We talk about it too. Like it's why we play hockey. Game 7, let's have fun. Don't overthink that. Play like a team, and I think we did that. We were a little faster than them, and I'm super happy we won that game. In front of our fans. Game 7 against Rangers. So it's huge.
Nico, can you just describe?
Yeah, of course. I mean, obviously, that was. I said it earlier too. Yeah, Lindy addressed it. We addressed it. Those are the games you're watching as a kid. Those are the games you want to play in, and I think everybody understood that. It's a huge game, and we made some memories tonight, and together. That's important, and it was definitely a really fun, probably one of the most fun games I ever played.
Nico, could you just describe the brilliance of your young goalie tonight and in this series?
Huge. I mean, he stepped up big time. He came in, looked so confident, so calm, and that gives confidence to the whole team. And I mean, he made those saves look easy again. So big props to him. And but that's play of hockey. Guys step up, and he's one of them, and he's big part of why we won the series.
Andre, you played against this Rangers team last year in the conference final. Did it have a different meaning this year, being a part of the Hudson River rivalry with the Devils? Did it feel any different?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of felt, the tension between the two fan bases. It's a pretty big deal here. So, everybody was excited for this round, and I thought it was a great round. I'm so happy we won. And yeah, I mean, we just play good series, good couple of games, and glad we won.
Nico, you mentioned it briefly when you said we won.
We heard it coming into the postseason. It's all about the adjustments. Each team changing things, trying to get the edge against your opponent that is doing the exact same thing. What were some of the biggest adjustments the Devils made in this series to come out as the victors?
Changed goalies, right? I mean, in Game 3. I mean, that was big, and that's not a knock on Vitek Vanacek.
Was that a trick question?
Right? I mean, that was a big one because they had to do something to shake it up. I wasn't necessarily in favor of it when it was first promoted by Chico on the radio side, and then we talked about it here on the post-game show, and I was like, but as he went along with the argument, he's a very persuasive man, and he was able to convince all of us that it was the move to make, and it paid off in spades. And the Devils played differently in Game 3 on the road. Maybe backs against the wall, Rangers had gotten their attention. Scotty, you know what it must be like to be in a room like that where you've fallen down 0-2 at home, and you're like, hey, is our season going to be washed away that quickly? And they went back using their speed more. That second game, they tried to be much more physical. It just wasn't the Devils' way.
It's almost like when you go to that, like, wow, we had such a great season. We had the team. We're not playing up to our caliber. Man, the party's going to be over. Like, it's really, and then you get that feeling like, wow, if we don't change something up. Game 3, they did what they did. It's an overtime game. Man, knows that could have gone either way. We could have. We might not be here right now. But at the same time, after that, they were the dominant team. There's no question. Even Game 6. If they get one more in the first period there, I don't think we're even here right now. Just that's my expertise. But and I have none. But in saying that, they did, like Maddie said, they completely went back to speed, not going for the big. They're not going to intimidate anyone. It's just the way it is. Everyone, and they got certain goals at certain times from key guys. And, the big guys, like I said, they were held off the score sheet, and to win like this and to get those points at the end, it's big.
Yeah, reliving Dougie Hamilton's goal. And, of course, Jack Hughes had the big one as well. And slowly the Devils found their way and realized that, wait a minute, they found out pretty quickly what the formula was, which is we are much faster than this team. And if we avoid the penalty box, we'll be okay. It's just a great pass we're going to see coming up here in a second. I think this is Siegenthaler, right? Getting the pass from Nico Hischier. And how about the Swiss contingent? I mean, Meyer hasn't scored, but he's been noticeable physically. Siegenthaler scoring, Hischier's getting assists by the boatload, terrific defensive player. And Schmido? What do they call it?
Schmido the torpedo.
I mean, it's always good when you get a nickname right in the playoffs. Not going with a dud or something like that. But it is good when they. But in also saying that, you got to give them credit the fact that they didn't press. Like, we got to change completely. Okay, they made the adjustments, the goaltending. But they did go back to what they got them here, the speed, every line going. Maddie knows just as well as there's been a bunch of series where, okay, we got to rough them up. We got to be, we got to show them we're bigger and badder. Yeah. No, the Devils played their game, and it was. I think the Rangers finally saw it, and I think everyone saw it. Like, oh my God, this team is, 5-on-5. This team is faster. Yeah. They are better. They're more compact. They're more complete, and kudos for them.
And when they won the game we're looking at here, to take a 3-2 lead, I thought they'd be able to carry it over, but I knew that the Rangers would play well. But the Devils still were the better team in the first. The penalties came out and just bit them in the butt. Dawson Mercer made sure of that one on a shorthanded goal. So it was that, all those things we talked about, and cool hand Lindy Ruff. Because as they fell behind 0-2, there was no panic in his voice. He was like, hey, we're just going to find our game. We didn't play our game. We'll be okay. He had a calming influence. The players have said that. But he made tweaks, not only major change like the goalie, but he brought in a couple of guys. Lazar played. Lazar doesn't play tonight. He scored the goal on Saturday, but he doesn't play. Miles Wood comes in. Sharon Govich comes in. He was making small changes, but understood that it's going to be the big guys that have to do the heavy lifting. And congratulations to Lindy Ruff. First Game 7 he's won as a coach. He was 0-4 coming in, and now he gets that mark off.
Yeah, he had the goose egg. I can't believe that, Lindy. What's going on with that? But but we said it after Game 2, where you do see some coaches start pressing the panic, and you see it on the podium. And Maddie made sure we didn't recognize that right after. Was like, wow, that guy is kind of, hey, we've been in this situation where everyone says that it is the regular season, but for some odd reason we kind of believed them. Like, and if your leader is the one that's going through that, hey, follow it. Like, there was no panic, there really wasn't. And whether you got to take Lindy to Vegas after this series because he's the greatest bluffer, Connor, but he was. I think it was like Maddie said, that was a huge advantage just to have him in his presence and calm collective. And congratulations for that because he's done it all and finally win a Game 7.
End of the week, the league will announce the Adams finalists, voted on by members of the media. I'm thinking Lindy should be in the top 3. I'll tell you how I voted. Jim Montgomery. I mean, you have that kind of year, right? Boston coach. Then I had Lindy second on my ballot, and I had Dave Hackstall, who did a similar job out west with Seattle as my third choice.
King of transparency. We love to hear it.
That's it. My ballot's out there. Don't at me.
Well, we all learned Maddie's got to vote. I didn't even know that. How long I know this guy? Jeez. I could have gave you some insight for a couple of years there.
I want to define a term that we've used on this show, Devils hockey. Something that's been so critical about New Jersey's play this entire regular season and in their wins in the postseason has been a strong defensive game. New Jersey spent the first 6 weeks of the season focused on being a better defensive team. And that includes the forwards buying into the system, getting back, and using that speed they use offensively, defensively, to block any odd man rushes by their opponent. That was evident when they made that adjustment against the Rangers in Game 3 and took away that odd man rush. That was a huge game changer as well, Gomer.
Well, are you looking for the word, the factor? Because I like to say, maybe it was the G-Love factor. I mean, they haven't been in the second round. I come on the TV set.
That's it.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
Listen,
I mean, Maddie's the one that got me. Maddie's the one that
man.
got me. You're looking for a thing. Maybe the team. I mean, let's play.
Coincidence?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, where's my vote for that? I mean,
Selfless as ever. Scott Gomez continues to be selfless.
You gotta have fun. Come
Exactly.
on. There's no fun. What's the point?
Exactly. What are we doing?
Yeah,
here, right?
exactly.
I mean,
It'd be like Catherine. It'd just be
it is entertainment. That's
entertainment seeing Catherine freak out in the periods. I mean, I wanted her to go in the room sometimes and give the guys a little, little butt chewing because the girl brought it. Catherine brought it all series, and hey, she is. She is.
Nice.
And,
nice.
So maybe it's not the G-Love factor; it's the Catherine and G-Love factor. G-Love Catherine factor.
It's a team.
We'll take all the credit. This post-game show will continue rolling on. We'll see the impact we have.
When you win. It's all fun for everyone. There's fans out there. Hey, they deserve credit too.
I guess we're waiting for Lindy still, and while we do, I'm thinking that just thinking ahead to Carolina, where their defense pretty active, right? Mm-hmm. Brady Shea can score goals. They've got Gostisbehere.
Great on the power play too. He came in the trade deadline, has been critical for them on the man advantage.
Yeah, and then they've got Pesci and Slavin. It's pretty good. It's pretty good defense.
It's a whole new ballgame. I mean, as well, and you hate to say it, you just don't know what comes out of the next round. I mean, we can talk about all the momentum we want. We could talk about, you get an injury here or there. This was make the playoffs so special and so fun. But at the same time, I mean, going into the second round, I think the Devils have to think it doesn't matter who we play. If we play this way, we're giving ourselves a chance.
Yeah, and then back to our defense, to your point, because I think Carolina's is very good. Ours is underrated. I still don't think they get the recognition they deserve. They're great puck movers. They're good defensively. Johnny Marino and Ryan Graves have been very, very effective. The other night wasn't their best night, not Ryan Graves' best night, but it happens. The other team is trying too, and they came back tonight. They were brilliant. Johnny picking up helper, and Gravy was +3. I know that's not a big deal anymore, you analytics people, but +3 means you're on for 3. Obviously, the Rangers didn't score. And you had John Marino as a +4.
And they faced every factor you could face in the playoffs. Down in a series, you know, you could easily, you hate to say it, but I mean, I guess it was a 4, but you do blame the D. Besides the goaltender, the D is usually the one that breaks down. And yeah, the patience they showed, getting the puck out. You know, the Rangers came at them, but there was never a moment in the series where you're like, oh my God, the D are a problem. It was never like that. And they took a big step there too.
The Devils learned also, if they lose that first game of the second round, it doesn't matter. They can come back from anything. Let's go hear from Devils head coach Lindy Ruff on this win.
Put on them right off the bat. You know, we talked about not being afraid to just play as hard as you possibly can, play our game. Nothing safe about our game, but to be on our toes and play.
How rewarding for you. You put a 22-year-old in net in this series, and the way he came in through tonight for you.
He played a heck of a game. I mean, he had a heck of a series. You envision things, but you don't really envision what he did. This was a tough series. It was like I said this morning, it was two good teams going at it with what turned out, you know, goaltending on both sides turned out to be a big factor.
Lindy, is one of the more impressive things the way after game 1 and 2 your team was able to really embrace what changes needed to be made and immediately executed on that?
You know, I said this, that, you know, we got down 0-2 at the start of the season, and we went the right direction right after that. I think we actually, you know, after we went 0-2, we won 3 and then we lost 1, so, you know, everything kind of collided together. Not saying that we did that on purpose, but I'm just saying that, and I said it this morning, this team has no quit. They give me everything they have, and they were able to adjust to some things we wanted to change. And I thought we fought through some adversity with penalties in the first period when I thought we were playing really well. It was the only negative. But again, our game is speed, and I thought that was evident.
I guess the really simple question is, how proud are you of this group in this first step?
You know, first step, I'm really proud. I'm really proud of the group. You know, we talked about staying loose, having fun. Basically said to them, this game has to be the most fun you've had all year. And I think they had the most fun.
Lindy, I was going to kind of touch on that. That was your message before the game. Did that? How much of that show out there today? And did you feel the Rangers pressed a little bit? Could you feel that?
You know, I think when I got the start from the team that we got, like shots on goal, territorial play, I knew we were going to be okay. You know, you don't know how they're going to react. There's a lot of pressure. Both teams feel pressure. Game 7 is do or die. It's, you know, you're saying goodbye after the game. But I think they answered the bell incredibly.
Just as a follow, what did you think of some of your unsung guys? You know, McLeod scoring for the first time since January, and Marino, and what did that do for you to lift you guys to?
You know, that's what the playoffs are all about. There is always that unsung hero, that guy that'll score that big goal. What a goal by Michael. Not only taking big draws most of the night, but to score the goal, it looked like a Mike McLeod goal from, you know, last year or the year you would cut in and hang on to it, and their goalie sold out, and you know, maybe other players would have tried to shoot it. He hung on and put it in the empty net. So I'm happy for him, because it takes a lot of pride in his face-offs, and for him to get a big goal, incredible for the team.
Lindy, is Timo okay?
Remember, the full availabilities for the head coach and all players are on NewJerseyDevils.com, and that's where you'll find your full team coverage throughout the postseason. We got to get out of here because Matt needs to pack. The Devils on the road to Carolina tomorrow. The first game of round 2 is Wednesday, the 2nd, Friday, and later on we will hear about when the Devils will be hosting the Hurricanes here at the Rock. So keep it locked to our social media so you can join us here and cheer on the team. What a fantastic effort by this group.
Can I just make one last
Absolutely.
comment? Good friend of mine, big Devils fan, Pete Crimmy, sends me a text. Playoff goals: Hall of 4, Zaka none. we won the trade.
That's a fan. That's a true fan. That's a great fan right there. Pete, great job.
That's one way to end the show, but keep it locked into all of our coverage. Matt and Chico will have the call in Carolina, and following those games, make sure you come back here. Gomer and I will be holding down the fort at Prudential Center, breaking down these games as the Devils head to the second round for the first time since 2012. That's all the time we have for your Genucel post-game show. For Matt Laughlin and Scott Gomez, I'm Catherine Bogart. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you in the next round.
Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you want it ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. We won't go out without a fight. That's the way of a survivor, man. Lace up your boots cause the race is on. Ain't no one taking me out my zone. If you don't know what I'm coming for, if you ain't worthy, I'll take your throne. I put that on everything I love. Sweat and blood, but the best has to come. Wanna stand up if you getting down. Put up your fists if you with it now. We them big hitters, so brace yourself. Just another notch up on the belt. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you with it, ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. 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 Born for greatness, man. Hold up. Places is bitter, but victory sweet. Come for something fire under my feet. See it internally, seeing's believe. Not what you hear because vision is clear. Front to back, ain't no question that we here. All of my love, this is all of my tears. Sun never chillin', I'm rising again. Ready to die because we came to win. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Born for greatness, man. Let me know if you ready to get dollars, holla, cause we wildin' out. If you with it, ready, steady, go. Fight the good fight because this is war. 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 This is war.
Shake it.